Hello and good afternoon. Welcome to the game between New England Eagles and the Philadelphians. Ball number one, straight away to the batters of New England Eagles. News from the center, New England Eagles winning the toss and deciding to bat first against the Philadelphians. It's a crucial game for them, sitting at number 3 in the points table. Bhaskar Yadram, who has been an instrumental all-rounder for the Philadelphians. Straight away, Mazhar getting down the track, down to third man, gets a bounce. Alongside with him, Prajapati, the opening pair for the day. Rizwan Mazhar and Vandit Prajapati played 5 matches. Prajapati scored 42 runs, strike rate of 85. Just teasing out using that fourth and fifth stump channel, Bhaskar Yadram. We're live to you from the NYC Oval Cricket Ground. We had a game of the New Jersey Stallions and NYC Titans. We could see the second innings had a bit of trouble with the spin and ball, especially stopping and coming on the bat. It's been a bit of difficult picking for the batter. It's not been that easy from the previous game. If you can see that, and if it's the same wicket, it's been a good over from Bhaskar Yadram. Tried the shorter one into the wicket, just moving his body around. It will be the end of over. First over done. 3 runs on board. Let's just take a look at the scorecard and the batting card of Philadelphians that they have today in the squad. The Philadelphians have Ryan Scott, Omkar Zob, Aditya Ganesh, Jai Krishan Parvani, Bhaskar Yadram, Cornet Dry, Akeem Diwar, Sajid Hoque, Abdul Jabbar Mohammed, Saqid Kazmi, Atharv Kaushal. Almost from the last year, they've got the squad same, they've got the core same. It's corner dry, 59 match, 86 wickets, with also the contribution with 470 runs, trying to take on dry against his bowling line, Rizwan Mazhar. 37 games for him with 522 runs. A bouncer targeting his helmet, but is a bit too wide and over his head, and the keeper indicates to be reviewed, which unfortunately we do not have in the game. Nicely picked. Nicely picked and played into the leg side. Rizwan Mazhar gets with the first boundary. We'll have to check if it was a maximum. Let's wait for the confirmation from the umpire. And yes, the umpire says it is the first maximum of the game from Rizwan Mazhar. Corner dry, taken to a ride. One more time, second time, different direction. Looks like it's going to be the same result, but even farther of the first one. Even better, better than the first shot. Much more power, and it's gone 10-15 yards behind. Just look at that, where the rope is and where it lands. Just brute power from Rizwan Mazhar. New England Eagles sitting at the bottom of the table by winning just one game. Winning against Manhattan Yorkers, the very first victory. Oh, what a shot that is, but looked like it's going to be a full catch, but it's gone. Gone for boundary. 6-6-4s, back to back maximum, and then a boundary for Rizwan Mazhar, who's looking dangerous. Corner dry. He's tall, but gets on a hack into the leg side. Almost got the catch. Rizwan would have had his mouth, would have had his heart in his mouth. Clears the fielder. Two sixes, two fours. He is dealing in boundaries. He is looking extremely good and dangerous for the opposition. Not exactly the middle of the blade, but he had full swing and cleared the fielder inside the infield, who was stationed at mid on. And they're off to a flyer. New England Eagles. Wow, he's just destroyed the very first over from corner dry. Very confident. Rizwan Mazhar with his 40 games he's played. Nothing short of experience. There has to be something. Now comeback delivery to be expected from Cornet Dry. Right onto the ribs of Rizwan Mazhar, who gives a solid start in the second over to the New England Eagles. Two overs done, 26 without any loss of wickets. And on your screen, you can see the man who scored 22 runs of 10 balls. Two wides coming and a leg by. And one run from Prajapati that makes the total sit on where it is. They bring on spin. Whereas for the New England Eagles, they've got Adil, Nasherwan, Apurva Meshram, Rishikesh, Bodugam, Ashwath Gurumurthy, Earl Henningham, Noman Iftikhar, Hamad Tanveer, Aryan Joshi, and Prateek Singh included in the squad today alongside Rizwan Mazhar and Prajapati. 37 games for Rizwan Mazhar with 522 runs, strike rate of 136. Got more sixes than boundaries. Has 41 sixes on his career graph, but surely hasn't been captured the other games he's played. But whereas for the minor league cricket, his stats 41 sixes, 32 fours. August 31st, he scored 56 runs. Flighted, flighted up, but that won't stop the ball. He is just smacking the ball everywhere around the park. Signs here, blaring signs of concern for the Philadelphians if Rizwan Mazhar in this sort of flow. It was wide, it didn't matter to him. So clean, the bat flow, that it took all the way in front of long off for a sixer. 57% of the times, Rizwan Mazhar gets caught out, but not this time. Make it another one. He's in a different mood here. He is obliterating the opposition bowlers. Everyone can just stand where they are and then be watching this delightful strokes from him. 34 runs and 13 balls. It just gets better and better from Rizwan Mazhar. Take another one. Fetch start. Bigger, gone, better, and blasted out. He is using his bat as a cannon and everything. He is just smoking it out. Thrown at him, you are dishing out wide and no answers. And where can you set up fielders if a batter in this sort of flow? You cannot have fielders right up in the air. Anything is playing is not just falling right next to the boundary, is going beyond the boundary. 6.66. 40 runs and 14 balls. We'll have to bowl that one again. Especially Mazhar being in this sort of flow. Any extra ball might turn out to be just like this. Just like this. Worst case, you would not want to be there. Anyone right strolling across the ground, make sure you have your hard hats and helmets on because Rizwan Mazhar is in full flow and he's putting on a show. That is some serious knocking. Display of power, display of strength, strong foundation, gets his base right, and he is motoring. 51 runs coming up for New England Eagles in just third over with a ball remaining. 2.5 overs. Couldn't connect it. Falls short of the fielder. One bounce, get off the strike, and it will be Rizwan Mazhar to continue and to give us some more fireworks in the fourth over. 3 overs done, 52 without losing a wicket. Right now, with this bowling and everything being dished up to Rizwan Mazhar, the safe spot for the bowlers can either be if they are not bowling or the pavilion. That's the only spot where the bowlers can have peace for them. Just the timeline of the over 6.66 wide, then punished with six more and a single. Back on strike. Rizwan Mazhar with change in the bowling attack. That's gone. Gone for boundary. You gotta feel, oh dear, you gotta feel for the fielders of Philadelphians, especially the bowlers, wherever they are bowling. He's become Midas today. Anything he touches turns into goal from Rizwan Mazhar. Gets boundary, 51 runs and 17 balls. He has played a knock. He is still there on the crease and he is obliterating. 56 runs. Sazad Hoke takes on. He is in discomfort here. One way to stifle, he is stifled with the ball bowled by Sazad. Didn't get the bat, gets the glove in displeasure. Might this be a breakthrough? The very next ball, the way he was batting, only a sting, I'm sure that wasn't targeted, but wanted to play against across the line of the ball. Let's hit him right where the cushion's not there. On the glove, you've got that vacant part. When you hold the bat, there's the nets on the glove for the ventilation, for the airflow. And if it's hit him there with the pace Sazad Haq is bowling, that will definitely hurt. A rough spot for Mazhar to be hit, but he was displaying fireworks here for us. Well, there's going to be a check for Rizwan Mazhar. Just let's take a look back what exactly happened in the very over. Was bowled by Bhaskar Yadra. Just 3 runs coming off it. 2 dots, a single dot, and 2 runs. And then from corner dry, I'm not sure what changed with that wide ball that he bowled on the third one. And then from there on, he's taken on the attack. He only had 2 runs for him. And then on, 6, 6, 4, 4, and a run again to him to get him strike. And it continues. It continues. Looks like he is annoyed with that hit and he punishes Sajad Haq right straight. Over the head of the fielder. Just an inch shorter. Lands in front of the rope to go for 6 runs. 60 runs. Gets off the strike. Good to see that he's not relying just on boundaries. Still in a bit discomfort. Rizwan Mazhar. And then the over from Muhammad, which started with a 6, a dot, back-to-back sixes, wide, an extra ball bowl, and then he later got better of him with a 6 and then a single. First one hit for a boundary to Sajad Haq. Good batting from Prajapati. His job is to get the man who is in fine form back to the strike and just give him the strike back so that he takes on the charge. He takes on the attack. Oh, this is big. This is huge, but hasn't got the distance, and that's the wicket. Wicket of Rizwan Mazhar. He makes the impact, and he's gone. It felt like it's going almost for a 6, but just look at it having no distance. Connected most of the times today. The amount of deliveries he's faced, he's got them well, and in that direction we've seen him get runs 3 times, but now a wicket. This is going to be a respite for the Philadelphians. After 4 overs, is going to be the first wicket. 62 for 1. You gotta give credit to the brave bowling of Hogg, who didn't shy away from pitching the ball. Still full, wanted the batter to take chances on him, and that's how he got his wicket. It does look Bhaskar Yadram will come into the bowling. For only 1 over, the very first over. Apurva Maheshram, new batter, replacing Rizwan Mazhar. Who lightened up the NYC Oval cricket ground with his masterful stroke. He was in no mood to joke. 21 balls, 56 runs with a strike rate of 266, 66, 6 sixes, 4 fours. Swivels across. And this wicket, Philadelphians would be expecting to get back in the game because that wicket of Rizwan Mazhar that costed them 56 runs, and he has been the player so far who's contributed the most. And Prajapati didn't get an opportunity as he was enjoying from the other end to face as many balls as Mazhar. Fairly two new batters is what you can say to the crease. Philadelphians should be able to utilize that good. Trying to cut. Gets nothing but thin air. Bhaskar Yadram. Tall, the release point. You think that he spools to the length of your grill as a batter. That's where you might not be seeing a steep bounce from him, but he does get good amount of bounce from the wicket. One of those bowlers where the ball climbs on just like this. Prime example set up by him. When you think that he's bowling exactly, but somehow he bangs on his shoulder that helps him to get that an extra bounce of the wicket. We've seen even of the dead wickets where it's spinner friendly in different games in different regions, how he was able to get the bounce. Works hard as a player, has the potential, playing across the line, not the line to play Bhaskar Yadram, but his bowling on the fourth stump. The batter wants to go into the leg side. No movement of the wicket, just standing steady there. 63 runs for that wicket. Run rates come down, and another economical over so far from Bhaskar Yadram. Nicely picked. Fielder in place for that shot. It's 2 runs coming off his over. 5 overs done, 64 for 1. First over, Bhaskar Yadram bowled for 3 runs, and this one for 2. It's going to be interesting how the bowling scorecard, if someone looks at and someone says Bhaskar Yadram has only 5 runs, and whereas for the other bowlers, you go on, you see Corne Dry, and then Hawk, and then Muhammad, the amount of runs they've leaked, it feels like there's something different they were bowling, and then Bhaskar Yadram made it look easy. I would have been interested to see a contest between Yadram and Rizwan Mazhar, the way he was going, if he would have gone the same way with Bhaskar Yadram too. And why I say this because it's about the X factor bounce that Bhaskar Yadram generates off the wicket, and the zip that he gets. Stood there, played late deliberately over the head of infield, and a good shot to start. Just look at him, just waiting for the ball and just plays it to perfection. Apurva Maheshram. One more time, same direction. It does look like a better result, better than boundary. What a shot that is. What a shot that is from Apurva Maheshram. Take a look. Stand tall, stand and deliver. Half a dozen. Go fetch that to the fielders of Philadelphians. 35 matches, 496 runs for him. Strike rate telling us a different story for his statistics, but he does look like he's got the fire. Whereas the strike rate on Cricket Clubs does mention 95.75. Apurva Maheshram screaming us and telling he can do different. Picked up in the leg side, different, so different that Hook gets a wicket. 4 and a 6 in the air. Apurva Maheshram perishes. Just try taking on as the ball goes into the leg side, straight down, and a fielder there exactly for that very shot. If any batter pulls it or just plays the pickup, and smart bowling, and what a comeback from Sajad Haq after being hit for a boundary and then for a six. He takes a wicket. Apurva Maheshram goes after making 11 runs for. You man replacing Apurva Maheshram. Adil Nosherwan. 6 matches, 75 runs. Just a slip fielder trying making Adil poke at that one. He's been out of the lot, one of the brave bowlers. Sajad Haq firstly gets the wicket of the attacking Rizwan Mazhar and then gets the wicket of Apurva Maheshram, who was getting started, and at the right time he pulled the brake on him. Maybe a little bit of football skill might have helped Sajad Haq. Was a very close call. Was a race between the batter, between the non-striker Prajapati and Haq. 2 wickets also Haq he's got out of the full length balls. The ball is new. It's a bit breezy from morning here at NYC Oval, and when you see that as a bowler and as a fielder, you'd want to force the batter to hit against the wind so that the ball is held in air for a little bit of time at least. It's going to be difficult when you're hitting against the wind, when it is strong. Forced to play into the leg side. There's a fielder again. Will come into picture. Will only get a run. And a wicket comes down in the second over of Huck. With that, we have 12 runs coming from the sixth over, 76 in total with the fall of 2 wickets. And a wicket comes down. Abdul Jabbar Muhammad, after being pelted in his first over, is brought into bowling once the danger's gone. Gets that zip when he bowls, much more quicker, bowls flatter and quicker as the left arm spinner. And also a good move just to get Muhammad a bit of break when Rizwan is still, he was looking strong and going at the spinner. It was as if you're showing the red claw to the bull to come after you. There's something from Muhammad. He tries to convince the umpire. And even the keeper looked very excited and interested. Much more control and more confident. Abdul Jabbar from the very first over that he bowled against Rizwan Mazhar. Trying to correct his economy. With the danger man gone. Very well bowled. Away. Just a bit of bewildering. That is the end of the over, and we'll keep you updated on the scoreboard. We apologize for the technical difficulty that we are facing here. Corner dry. Gets back into bowling. And you'll have to give credit to the batting and the impact made by Rizwan Mazhar, especially his knock that he played. 21 balls, spraying down the leg side. 21 balls, 56 runs. Somewhere where when Rizwan Mazhar was hit on his glove, that's the moment where his concentration might have broke. When he came back, he did play a stroke. He did slap back the ball straight near that side screen area. But then it was a very different him that you would have seen a ball before that he was hit, just moving across, throwing his bat. But then Huck tried full. He was persistent with the length, caught the wicket. And so far, Sazad Huck, he's been on point and he's been pick of the bowlers for getting the breakthrough for the Philadelphians. Connects it. No timing on that shot. As you enjoy the game, we are still working on the scorecard to get it updated. We apologize for the technical difficulties we are having. 81 runs. You look back now, here's the time. This is the phase of the game. The New England Eagles will think about building the innings. They've lost the aggressive opener, Rizwan Mazhar, and Apurva Maheshram, who played a 6 and a 4 right there. When the bowlers are bowling into the wicket, somehow the boundaries, it looked to be dry here. They need boundaries. Most importantly, more than boundaries, how are they going to nourish the innings here? The New England Eagles is the single, the strike rotation. And whereas for the Philadelphians, they'll have to be careful about the extras that they're giving. With the danger evaded, the wicket taken of Rizwan Mazhar. For anyone who've just joined us, the reason why we are talking about this man, we're repeating his name. He played 21 balls, scored 56 with six sixes, and was more bit of hammering, just like a lumberjack swinging his hammer, and took everything down coming in his way. Slapped away. And the reason why I say this is because this is eighth over, and prior to the wicket, the very first wicket which fell, the opener, Mazhar, the run rate came down to 13, and it was Apurva Maheshwaram who was continuing the attack. But once his wicket fell from 13, the run rate came down when he was taking on the attack to 11. Now the run rate is below 11, and with that, they've got 2 runs. Yes, and no confusion there. Last thing the New England Eagles would want is a run out after losing. The batters who looked well set. 8 overs done. Just 3 runs coming off tries over. 82 for 2. .25. Then it will be Abdul Jabbar Muhammad to continue. A good comeback from him after a very hard over. One of those days being a bit expensive. Muhammad, first over 20 runs, and as a bowler, when you're coming to bowl second over, you'd want to collect your thoughts saying that, okay, it was one of those overs in one of those days. I'll have to back myself up. And a catch. Does look like a soft dismissal. Just chipping away. And this is how you back your skills after a difficult over. Yes, you did have, but if you got to make a comeback, you need to have a strong mindset. And it does seem like Abdul Jabbar is committed to give all he has to the team. Just playing right into the palms of the bowler. Just moving few steps across and collecting a very good catch. A wicket for Mohammad. 82 runs with 3 wickets down. New England Eagles losing wickets. Comes out Ashwath Gurumurthy. Left-handed batter, 7 matches, 61 runs for him. fairly new. 7 matches played, his best being 23 runs scored. Has a chance today to get his score, strike rate better. And New England Eagles losing wickets. The story of wickets. Fourth over was the very first wicket taken by Sajad Haq, and then in the sixth over, and now started with the wicket. Abdul Jabbar in the ninth over. Running between the wickets. And Prajapati has faced 15 balls, scored 7 runs. They got 3 leg by. He's hit that straight to the fielder, but I don't think so. That's been collected. Right, falling on his face. He made right effort, but I think it just pops out when he had to collect it to complete the catch. Almost there. Could have been a wicket. Then Jabbar's third over. The obstruction with the ball. And it's not going to be a boundary. Beg your pardon. The umpire has called it as a boundary. The obstruction of the pole blocking the view. 90 runs. They are still strongly building, New England Eagles, despite losing 3 wickets. And the impact made from the opener. End of 9 overs, 91 for 3. They're still going 10 and over. Even with this, they are strongly looking to finish at 200. They've got 2 overs of Bhaskar Yadra. The captain has used him to stop the run flow when needing the most. It's going to be the change in bowling. It's going to be the new bowler who'll roll his arm for the first time. Atharva Kaushal. Leg spinner, only a game. Has to be his first game, I believe. We've got no date about him. His His background tells us he's a batter, can bowl. Beautifully flighted by Atharva Kaushal. Players nicely groomed, starting young, getting an opportunity to play. Has to be very close. If there's no bat involved, there's nothing I think that might save the batter. Too close. Saved by a whisker. Had to be. Unless, if not the bat or the glove, nothing would have come to his rescue. Good bowling by Atharv Kaushal. It's not going for that anything fancy being his first game just to impress, but just sticking to his strength, trying to flight the ball, asking the batter to take him on, forcing the batter to play through the offside. This is a shot. This is a shot and a half. Was overpitched, and within just seconds, his eyes light up seeing that full in a slot. Beautifully timed through the covers. This over was going good. It's still good with a wide being bowled, with a run only taken, and this boundary that still tallies up to 6 runs coming off. Pushed away. Pushed for one. 10 overs done. 98 for 3. And it will be drinks break. We will join you momentarily once the drinks break is done. Welcome back after drinks break. It's Sabith Kazmi who's got the ball. Starts with a wide. And that one run brings out 100 for New England Eagles. Looking to construct a partnership, Gurumurthy and Prajapati, with only a game winning against Manhattan Yorkers. They've had a tough run this season in the minor league cricket 2025. They are sitting at the bottom, rock bottom. Trying to take attack on Sabith Kazmi. He's bowled two wide so far. Better ball. Much better than spraying down the leg. Nudges away into the gap between the fielders, and they've done well. Good team pairing here to save 2 runs. Displays late, allows the ball to come to him. Just a bit nudge from the third man region. Has he got the distance on it? There's a wicket. It doesn't seem like it. And there was a question while he was looking. Sabith Kazmi immediately celebrating. There's the wicket of Prajapati. 4 wickets going down for New England Eagles. Completely contrasting story. The first 5 overs for the New England Eagles and what the 5 overs after it look like. Prajapati exactly playing where the fielder was. Played 24 balls, scoring 16 runs. Podugam, the new batter. Much better. Corrected and improved in his very first over, Sabith Kazmi. Of that first wide, Then the second one, which is going down the leg. Haven't seen any more wides coming from the last four balls. He'll be looking to take a wicket. Wickets falling in quick succession for New England Eagles. They need a partnership to blossom here. For the innings to be built, it's essential and it is vital that the New England Eagles take it step by step and start building a partnership before they take on any glory shots. 11 overs done, 106 for 4. As the game progresses, with Guru Murthy and Rishikesh Bodugam in the middle, 4 wickets are down. Has he picked up? Yes, he's got the screws out of that one. What a shot that is. Superb timing from Guru Murthy. Moving across, backing his ability, plays into leg side. Whereas they're getting boundaries, it's just the strike rotation. Guru Murthy and Rishikesh Bodugam should have a plan in place. How many overs are we going to turn the strike back to each other, and who's going to be the because wickets have been falling? 4 wickets every 2 overs. If you look at the timeline, over timeline, there is a wicket. The skied up. It's like that. His head falling on the bat. Straight over hitting. Where for Guru Murthy, he could see the last ball that he played for 6 worked out so well. And if it's to be him or Bodugam, the aggressor, because if one can have that freedom to play the shots, the other can concentrate on rotating the strike and just have that consistent conversation while you're there out on the wicket. 9.63, going at a decent strike rate. It's play and a miss. Gotta see there if there's any call from the umpire. There was an appeal. No, that's the over. 12 overs done, 114 for 4. Sazadhok has got two wickets, one of Rizwan Mazhar, and then from Apurva Maheshram. A bit different for the viewers and for anyone who's watching from what happened from the very first over for New England Eagles, and then to what we see. They're taking it steady, that run rate coming down below 10. But you can certainly feel the energy as well. A wicket before Bodagam arrived for Prajapati. Bit more hesitant approach from him. I would say that that might have been the cause of his wicket. Whereas for Gurumurthy, he's looked in flow. He is not hesitant to take on his chances. Thus going down the leg. Probably thought a good chance to get some bat and direct it. Philadelphians also, you'll have to laud them. They've done good to come back in the game to get the wicket, and then where this game stands, they're right on track. This game hasn't gotten away from them. First 5-6 overs tell you a complete different story. That phase was taken over, was won by the New England Eagles, and then slowly the Philadelphians creeping back in the game. Top edge. And it's Zadhak telling someone to get to the ball. Just going through what is happening around, and I heard that the MCG tickets are already sold out for the series coming up, the one day internationals, where the India is about to visit Australia. And a big time, there were people who were telling the umpire says that he's moved across, and there's a question from Guru Murthy that how wide this was going down. That how there's been a culture, there have been different conversation, different fraternity of cricket, different cricket boards have different culture. But whereas I see a different approach from Cricket Australia, and that's why they've been very successful. More about the amount of games every individual plays in Sheffield, be it Big Bash, and it is the same amount of effort that's been put in to get it to a standard. When I was just reading through how it was Peter Hanscom was included in the Test squad in 2016 or 17 when Australia toured India. He's one of those names rising, and then despite that, not included in squad for some time, he goes back to Sheffield and still playing. And when I see him for Ashes, that's gonna come, he's one of those strong names that is there from that can be a part of the squad. 13 overs done, 118 for 4. As we talk about Australia, even the Test cricket for England, how it's been revolutionized by the term baseball. It's reading through it, a different approach, more about Test not being that you are sedated and having a clear mindset. I think that's the whole concept. It does surely reflect when Ben Duckett comes out to bat. Different programs, and I do think the way cricket is revolving and being evolutionized, the way it changes, the transformation of the game has been massive. In late 2010, 11, 12, you would say T20 cricket, some any team scoring over 150, 60 would have been massive. Now, recently, Phil Salt against South Africa scored 100 runs and managed to score the team total over 300. That is just berserk. How we play the game now. That's gone. That's gone. And gets runs. There are a few signals from the dugout indicating the umpire might be a six. We'll just take a look. And also to the replay to see that how well he's positioned in the line of the ball to play that, making it so easy. Just look at that. Nice head, not falling over the bat this time. A clean strike. 9.22. Not disappointing to where they are. November 20 is when the Ashes start. I do think that a couple of times when we talk about test, the craze might be fading, but anyone who enjoys cricket, you have to follow the game in test cricket because that's the real game. It's the game of your temperament, it's the game of your class. Tries to bring out that reverse sweep. And any elite cricketer wants to play the highest and the elite format of the game, that is test cricket. 14 overs done, 127 for 4. And I do think that there's an opportunity with the franchise cricket, what it has done. When you see with MLC players coming in from Australia, we could see one of the top coaches, Ricky Ponting, being a part of Washington Freedom's side. That it does open up the doors for the players from US side as well to go play different leagues around the globe. Just like how the news broke out of Shubham Ranjane being picked up for Joburg Super Kings. It is a massive platform, minor league cricket. Being take it as a factory, you're getting a well finished product, a tailor-made cricketer. You get into the global stage, and MLC being that spotlight, that arena, how cricketers are able to display their talent. And just not that, I think in Australia also, with they inviting for the Northern Territory Cricket League that happened couple of a month, 2 months ago, where the Chicago Kingsmen were taking on the Adelaide Strikers, part of Adelaide Strikers. To that, Bangladesh was invited, and also Nepal. So there are opportunities coming across. The sort of franchise cricket also opens up the door for collaboration to build partnerships across. So it is vital for the growth of the game. It is vital for the growth of the players. And the teams here in minor league cricket set up with Philadelphians. We did mention in the very first game, Liam Plunkett taking a big part. and Ross Taylor being scout for one of the teams. This big opportunity as a player to evolve and grow. Reverse sweep, and Abdul Jabbar begging the umpire, takes a bit of time and he answers his plea. We're gonna have to take a look on the replay. Gurumurthy playing 24 runs of 24 balls. Right there, he says, how's that not out? Goes on one knee, promising the umpire that it is hitting the wicket. Takes a bit of time, thinks, and decides to go alongside with Abdul Jabbar. Gets his wicket. New England Eagles, 129 for 5. Well, as we think the innings was building for the New England Eagles, and there's that punch landed from Abdul Jabbar. Gets rid of Gurumurthy. Earl Henningham replacing Gurumurthy. 6 matches, 34 runs, 117 his strike rate. More than runs, I think the strike rate, the more than the average, the strike rate has become talk of the town for all of the cricket clubs and even the teams is something that they are keeping that to be in mind. That's been over average as well for the T20 game because the game's been quicker, faster, and it's more about the impact. Just like how Mazhar was able to do, Rizwan Mazhar, he's played a short innings but more effective. And if you gotta take a look, if you gotta take a look around the franchise cricket around the world, how the wickets were for the Indian Premier League, and then 243 runs even scored in Major League Cricket against Los Angeles Knight Riders versus the Unicorns. The Los Angeles Knight Riders winning by 11 runs in that game. It just becomes the run feast when the batters have that positive mindset and they are able to milk the runs out, and there's more for the audience to enjoy. But from the perspective of the game, you do think that is the game becoming one-sided and biased to the batters with the more flat tracks coming out. But I gotta tell you this, you might think the batters getting you the sponsorships, but it is the bowlers who win you the championships. So always the bowlers, it's more about the defense, having the right defense in the team that gets you with the proper execution that helps you win any championship. Because if you don't have, your batters might be able to score, they might be able to plunder, but it is your defense that stops the opposition. When you've got the pitch conditions same, when there's no movement, there's nothing changing with the pitch, there's no dew, we could see that factor, we could see that match highlighted in 2024, Mumbai Indians in Hyderabad, and slashed away. That hasn't been the case for the Major League Cricket. When you see that exactly, the scores have been fluctuating, close games this season. And you could see the report And if you guys are missing, there's so much cricket happening with US, and if you guys are missing with what has happened, and there are too many games, and you enjoy cricket, there's a lot. There's a Mind League Cricket Week recap that's always done by Aman Patel and Nate Hayes that you can catch up on the games with. 131 scored by the New England Eagles, 5 wickets down. There's also Women's World Cup around on the brink, played in India, Sri Lanka. There's an appeal. There's an appeal. He's already clapping. The umpire moves. Not interested. Standing in middle of the wicket. He is gutted. He is so disappointed. Gets his palms on the face. Is just surprised to believe that how come the finger hasn't gone up. Corner dry. Not sure if we can have a look at the replay where it hit the batter. It's just too late for us to pull the replay. Rishikesh Porukam and Earl Henningham. Has he connected over the head? The fielder chasing. Would have thought the spectators, the viewers watching us live around the globe might have thought he might pull out a dive just like Faf Duplessis does at times. How many times we've seen blinders taken by him? He just sets those benchmarks. The fielding gets better and better. Irrespective, people or the teams having better bowlers, better fielder, better batters. This is one aspect, one facet of the game that is equal for everyone. You may be different. That's clubbed and is going to sail over the head. No, no, he has different plans. Look at him, cool as a cucumber. He holds on to that one and he pulls that catch out as if a magician pulls out a rabbit off the hat. Just, oh dear, look at that. And talking about fielding, he sets an apex example. Oh, what a ripper. You can have your mouths, you can have your jaws dropped. This is just unreal. There's nothing wrong, but the timing of the jump, so superb, so on point, gets the wicket. It's unfortunate that Cornet Dry gets the credit, but it is the fielder who made it look so simple and contributes to the bowling figures of Cornet Dry. What a catch that is. Let's see if we can get to take another look of it. He'll be going on and he'll be thinking. He just stands there as cool. He plucks out one. Oh dear, what a catch that was. Corner Dry getting the wicket. Akeem Diwar, 16 overs done, 136. The highlight from the last over was Akeem Diwar's catch. Earl Henningham still on the crease. Aryan Joshi along with him. I was just calculating the difference between the impact that was made by Mazhar, Rizwan Mazhar, who scored 56 runs, and now we are looking. Of that, also, the Philadelphians gave 17 extras. How good has this man been? Bhaskar Yadram. He's been quiet, he's been silent, called upon by the captain, comes on, gets the job done. 2024 has been a highlight for him because at times he's pulled out the matches off the opposition's jaw for the Philadelphians. Bhaskar Yadram likes to take a slow start, likes to build the innings, and then gets those muscles flexing. He's a big hitter. If we take out the innings of Rizwan Mazhar, who scored 56 runs in 21 balls, it'll still be at 80 runs. Take that a boundary. Take that a boundary while I was talking about the run rate and the impact. Aryan Joshi gets his dancing shoes on, gives himself a width, accesses a bit of crease here, moving towards his left. Gets a boundary. Let's take a look. He comes down a little, moves towards the left, adjusting. And you need that against Bhaskar Yadram. You just can't stand there and you just cannot play at what he's bowling. Sure, he does get the bounce at times from the wicket. There's a bit of zip from him. But as a batter, you'll have to know to move, to access what you have. And Aryan Joshi has done that well. Better ball from Bhaskar Yadram. Right in the block hole. Now, how many times for bowlers, at times they think wickets are important? Yes, they are. But in matches, we forget that bowlers who are bowling well, at times they don't get wicket. But as a team sport, they still continue to support instead of looking for wicket when they know that they are in the right rhythm and they're bowling exactly to the plan. It's their fellow comrades, the other bowlers, who get the wicket. And that is because, as a bowler, when considered Bhaskar Yadram as a bowler, and if he's not able to give any runs, the batters desperately are trying to find gaps and try to force to take shots on the other bowlers that might result forcing them to play a wrong shot. All the aspects of the game, and I think that even with the boundary, Bhaskar Yadram has stayed true to his bowling line and length that he's been bowling all day long. He's been a he's been a frequent visitor of that fourth and fifth channel. End of 17th over, 143 for 6. Three overs remain. They've got three more. I wouldn't say batters, but tail enders after this, I reckon. But so far, the standard of the league has been so high that even the tail enders have the ability now, thanks to the willows and the strength and conditioning, the players and the teams make the players do. It's more about swatting the ball from here. 144, 18 balls, anything below 160, anything below 175, 165. The New England Eagles will think they had a good chance to put on a good batting total. They'll be disappointed. At least close to 160, what they will be getting at, even with the run a ball. They'll be looking to find one odd boundary every over. 144, 8.39 is what they're going at per over. Gone up. That's launched up, getting the top edge. Sits down and spills. Oh no. Oh no. What have you done here? Could have been a wicket. At first, we've seen a magnificent catch from Akeem Diwar. And now a drop chance. That's not him. But the standard of fielding, when you see a catch like that, in the previous over, Cornet Dry was bowling, where he plugged out. Could be thinking the standard of fielding is set so high, they should be taking, and this is the very first chance going down. And I believe that is a Sadhak. Negotiated with a single. $146. Still, there have been a bit of bits and pieces where the innings was dropped from the New England Eagles. They still managed to gather well. I'm very surprised, very much surprised to see Cornet Dry and the bowlers giving a bit of extras today. And just for you to have a bit of mathematics fact, 18 extras, out of which 8 wides. Ten leg buys, which could have been stopped. And 8 wides. So if you take off those 8 wide runs, they're going to still be at 139. And I hope where the Philadelphians look to climb onto the points table, that doesn't make a difference. The 8 runs, when they look scratching their head, we've played so well, we've balled nicely. Where's the difference coming from? And then when they look closely at that batting card and the bowling card sitting in the team meeting, and that's where the coach points and the captain says, this is where we could have done better. And any team, this is your controllable that you'd want to control upon. without giving any extra runs. For sure, because as a batter, that's his job, to any batter to come out and play. But as a bowler, it's your individual responsibility that you got to make sure that you are not giving any loose runs, any easy runs to the batting team. That puts on 150 after 18 overs to New England Eagles. With 2 overs remaining, 12 runs to be scored. Let's pull out our calculators and see if they're able to score 12 runs. That puts on 162. We were thinking 165, 160 is something to be scored by New England Eagles. Anything over that, there'll be a bonus. I might be selling them less. I might be selling them for less, but that is something that you might be thinking because Earl Henningham, he's tried but could not get any shots with Joshi as well on strike. Aryan Joshi facing Bhaskar Yadram. He was able to score one boundary. Moves across, nicely followed. Didn't change his line. Seeing the batter move across, followed the batter. Either you see a disruption when a bowler runs in, the batter moving across. Many times you see Pulisic stops there and then comes around again. Bhaskar Yadram following Earl Henningham, moving into his offside. Connects it. The attempt must be from Earl Henningham and Aryan Joshi, just like that, to convert those singles into 2 digits. It's going to put some more pressure onto the fielders of Philadelphians. Last phase of the innings, very relaxed dugout from New England Eagles. And all thanks to the start of Rizwan Mazhar, who played exceptionally. Two overs, 3 overs in the game, and you're going at 17 and over. He had everything he needed to have. Was just going. It's just not going. He was just running away with the game until Sazad Haq came in. And different strategies as well from fielders and the bowling team, the batting team these days, where you could see when there are many runs scored, you either try to take a bit of break, you try to change your feel, tie your shoelaces, just to cause a bit of more fissure to the play, the concentration to stop that flow of runs. In the block hole, he's got good hand to it and a boundary. That is an excellent shot from Aryan Joshi. Despite being bowled on point, nothing wrong with the ball. The shot just too good. The power gets his balance on the back foot and he generates it, transferring his weight back. Something wrong, something terrible that had been was the effort from the fielder. Despite he reaching there, putting his arm out, that deflection that made it worst. Change of length from Bhaskar Yadram. Going back of the length, bowling into the wicket. Out of all the bowlers, he's the one who's got the economy under 6, 5.18. Whereas it's been one of those days with the batting when Rizwan Mazhar was batting. You would expect everything launched off his bat to be a boundary. Cut away. And he's cut that well. Fast hands, slashing it. Gets another boundary. As we talk about 165, they are very close to that mark. It's going to be an interesting game between the Philadelphians and New England Eagles. 161 on the scoreboard. 6 balls to go. 11 runs coming off Bhaskar Yadram's over. First one bowled for 3. The second one that he bowled, only 2 runs coming. Then the third over with 8 to 9 runs that he gave, and this time 11 runs that he finishes with. 161. Aryan Joshi playing a hand, doing a role of a ramp just to boost the runs on the scoreboard. 8.47. They'll be very happy if they're able to get to 170 as a unit. They'll think they've achieved a good total. And it'll be a good match for our viewers who are watching, sitting right in front of the screens to watch as well. It's just not the dedication on the field that it takes, it also takes the passion the fans of minor league cricket that they have supporting their favorite team, favorite players. I'm sure everyone's edged in front of their screen looking, and all the cricket pundits calculating what could have gone better for the Philadelphians, what could have the New England Eagles, they could have done better. Maybe promoting someone up the order, someone coming, yes and no, a miss. Completes a single. There's a quick reflex from the wicket keeper. Lucky enough not to get it chopped onto the wicket. And I think this league is so proud of the fans. Every time they come out, viewers watching in numbers, the love has been reciprocated well by the league and the fans to each other. 163, 4 balls. Make it 3. Make it 3 with a dot. Pressure back onto the batting with a dot. Just getting 2 runs in 3 balls. Shazad Haq. 25 runs coming off his bowling with 2 wickets. Good stuff. This is good bowling from Shazad Haq. Back-to-back dot balls. Earl Henningham will have to move. He is cemented on the wicket. Just to play the stroke, he'll just have to come across. His bowling too straight. Might have to think something differently here. Exposing his thumbs. The outcome doesn't change. The outcome does not change for the New England Eagles and Earl Henningham. This is outstanding from Shazad Haq. Only 2 runs, a final ball. Here he comes with the final ball of the first innings. Over the head of Huck. Should be looking to come back for the second one. There's going to be a fast throw. Not well directed. That's going to be 165 as mentioned as what New England Eagles score. Thanks to the very first innings, while Rizwan Mazhar comes out and tries to demolish the bowler and their morale. Whereas for the other batters, just take a look at the scorecard where Apurva Meshram, after the fall of wicket from Rizwan Mazhar, he comes out and then scored 11 runs and then won the Prajapati with 16 runs in 24. That's where the innings slowed a bit. And then Adil Nosherwan, he was a guest for 6 balls and then being caught bowled by Abdul Jabbar. Ashwath Gurumurthy, 24 runs of 24 balls. Then came Earl Henningham, Aryan Joshi. Aryan Joshi played a good cameo with 17 runs in 11 balls, 3 boundaries with a rate of 154. That makes the New England Eagles sit on 165. We've got second innings to answer your questions. We're going to join you soon in the second innings, and that will be answered by the Philadelphians, and only one can be triumph here. Welcome back after innings break to second innings where the Philadelphians need 166 of 120 balls. They've got the opening pair, Omkar Zope and Ryan Scott, and he is that man. The Philadelphians want his bat to talk today, just like the opposite team had Rizwan Mazhar and his bat talking. Right up, there's hesitation to get off the strike, and it'll be the first run from the bat of Omkar Zope. Puts on 2 runs. He's alongside Ryan Scott. Played for Omkar Zope and different squads. Playing for Philadelphians was NYC Titans, Baltimore Royals. 15 matches, got 165 runs under him. Gonski! Gone! You miss, I hit. Omkar Zope will have to go back. Tanvir gets the first blood out of the Philadelphians. Right up, 2 full. Ahmad Tanvir lands an early blow. Perfect start for New England Eagles. It does look like he gets an inside edge and lights up the leg stump. Perfect start for New England Eagles after the first wicket. Omkar Zob, this is what they would have wanted. Jaikishan Parwani is out in the middle. 8 matches, 137 runs with a strike rate of 118. Scored 46 runs, being his highest run. It's 2 full for Omkar Zob and reacts late on that ball. If he was a bit more quicker to react, could have been a different result. Right there between the stumps. They got a good start in the power play in batting, New England Eagles. And right in the first over, Ahmad Tanvir gives them the perfect platform for the morale and the confidence of the players from New England Eagles to be right at the top. That's close. That's going to be very close. Very, very close. As everyone and says the umpire, Jaikishan Parwani. He is stuck there. He gets wicket, dot, and another wicket leg before. Ryan Scott standing there and seeing what's happening, helpless on the other end. Oh, what a start this is. Just look at this. Right there, has to be there. Umpire takes a bit of time and he's saying, keeper appealing alongside with him. Rizwan Mazhar joins. It took 3 people for the umpire to be convinced and send the batter out. Oh, what a bowling from Hamad Tanvir. Couple of close games for Philadelphians last season as well. They were sitting on number 3. With New England Eagles number 5 last year. And the Philadelphians would be wondering why us when we are thinking to climb up. Just 10 runs. Had a bit of concern on that net run rate. It's one of those teams has potential, and when it's a crucial moment, that's where everything for them. They look at down south. For them, the crucial game. They've had 2 close games against the Manhattan Yorkers, but they emerged victorious. First slip, Rizwan Mazhar for the new man. Aditya Ganesh, 33 matches, 517 runs for him. Was a part of East Bay Blazers, moved to the Philadelphians. Ryan Scott on the other end for the first over. He hasn't faced a ball yet. There was 2 runs, wicket, dot, wicket, and a dot. With the ball to go, will it be another one? There's that swing. There's that swing, notorious swing of Hamad Tanveer. Ends up to be a dot ball. 2 runs coming off that over. Aditya Ganesh and Ryan Scott. They need to brush up here. They have to redo things. With 2 early wickets lost. Noman Iftikhar. 45 matches, 47 wickets for him. The reason why I brought up a point for the Philadelphians from the last year was because the game against New Jersey Stallions, which finished in 19th over, when you go back, that game against the New Stallions 2024 and the Philadelphians. Coming to the very final over, that's where they lost the game. They would have been number 2 that season. And now Ryan Scott. Very watchful here against Noman Iftikhar. They've got a good history, the Philadelphians, against the Manhattan Yorkers. They won against the Cavaliers, the NYC Titans. Shot. Where's that going? Over the head of the fielder. He is decided. Ryan Scott has had enough. After losing 2 wickets, decides to take the attack on. Noman Iftikhar comes down. Look at that whip across. More of the helicopter call in the cricket world. Walks down, gets The whip out gets 6 runs. That's his regular way. Ryan Scott, how he goes. And that's why I said he's the man the Philadelphians would be looking to achieve this total 156 required. Sure, they've got much batting to come. We've seen we've seen days where Bhaskar Yadram, despite losing the top order, tough days, he was able to anchor the innings. That stop edge, that's gone. Where is it going? Falls short, just not short, but also where the field is not there. In one of the games this season, when they won against the Somerset Cavaliers, the other lost in the DL method by 22 runs. 8 games played, 4 won, 4 lost. Just one more game more than the last season, where they had only lost 3 games. Nicely picked off his legs. Aditya Ganesh, being the highest run scorer of the Philadelphians batting with 148. Sure, is far away, but nowhere, no batter near to him. Has been one of those seasons like it used to be for Bhaskar Yadram. That's gone, and we'll go to a boundary. Just brushing it, moving across, gets the inside edge of the bat, the under part, to be precise. I beg your pardon. I feel like Noman Iftikhar will have to bowl that one again while the umpire is signaling to be a 4. I assume that the umpire had called it as a wide and was overlooked. A ball that remains. 16 runs coming off Noman Iftikhar's first over. 2 overs completed, 18 for 2. Hamad Tanveer, after having a great first over, will continue to bowl. 8.2 to require for the Philadelphians every over. Not an unreal ask. The game wide open. They they surely have lost 2 wickets. They're trying to rebuild. And whereas for the New England Eagles, they should be looking to get a wicket, especially of this man, Ryan Scott, who holds the power to change the game. We've seen him come out bat freely once he starts, once he gets going. He is a complete different batter. Goes up. That's launched up. Fielders, three fielders. Finally, someone settles and drops. Oh no. He is dropped that after getting right under the ball. The chance put down. This was the wicket the New England Eagles would be looking for. He called it as his, and over the head, he made a mess of it. Just seems like 2-3 steps ahead where he had to be. Ryan Scott survives. And exactly as we say, he might not be able to give you another opportunity. Smart as a cricketer, but has that approach in him that he usually approaches aggressively at the ball, irrespective of what it is. It's very clear that despite a chance going up, what his natural game is doesn't let it hamper. Knows what his natural game is, what his act is going to be, and as a batter, should be very confident in the game plan that you possess. Because with the fear, you losing your wicket if you're playing that manner, it's just not you but the team that you're putting on the stake. It's just not your natural game, and with that, might not be able to maximize the result. Cleaned up, can never be better. Seeing a stump fly and fall apart. This is much better. Hamad Tanvir says, I don't need anybody. I'm going to do the job my own. He has got the better of Ryan Scott. What an intimidating delivery that was. Right to Ryan Scott. Look at him go back and has no answer. His willow could not get in time, and there's that stump flying. Hamad Tanvir gets 3 wickets, and he is given wings to the Eagles again. 3 wickets down. Eagles soaring high. What a bowler, Hamad Tanvir. First, he gets a catch for Ryan Scott, even after getting live, the way we were talking, in the manner that he might be looking to play aggressively. Usually, the drop turn out to the expensive one, but Hamad Tanvir had a better plan in place for Ryan Scott. First one bowled, Omkar Zob getting that inside edge on the bat, gets onto the stump. The second, Jai Kishan Parwani, leg before wicket, and out of the lot, the very best Hamad Tanvir gets is the stump knocked over. Bhaskar Yadram, after 3 wickets, he's been called upon to bat. Is going to play a critical role building the innings for the Philadelphians. And if they want to land a fatal blow onto the Philadelphians, he's the wicket. That bridge, they are looking, the Philadelphians, for the innings to be constructed again. It's the wicket of Aditya Ganesh and Bhaskar Yadram. They shouldn't let this partnership settle in. 6 matches, Bhaskar Yadram 109 runs, 4 wickets on his name, strike rate of 120. But we've seen the monstrous sixes that he can hit. Takes off the outside edge. Not sure if that was intended. Looked like he just opened the face of the bat to the slightest. Let's look at it. Just guiding it. And the pace on the ball, the batter gets the help with it. Got 2 wickets in his last over. The very first one that he was bowling. Easy movement of feet as well from Bhaskar Yadram. Collects back-to-back boundaries. Oh dear, what timing that shot had. On the up, Bhaskar Yadram into the act and plays it marvelously. Chase, but gone in vain. Superb timing to end the over. 3 overs done, 28 for 3. With Aditya Ganesh in the batting standpoint, in the leaderboard of the high scoring run getters, he stands on number 11. But for Philadelphians, I believe the batting has been a bit of question and a mystery to solve this season 2025, because 4 games they've lost out of 8. They've played 4 that they've won. Man in action. Hamad Tanveer getting 3 wickets in his 2 overs. And you gotta say, just rewinding back that wicket of Ryan Scott. First one he played, he got a chance, he got a live, just trying to slash him. Fielder settles in, just 1 or 2 steps ahead of where he had to catch the ball. Then the next delivery onto the pads of Ryan Scott that hits him. No man Iftikhar going up. There are screams. No one near the ball. Everyone trying to put the pressure on the umpire. Umpire right away moves away, exhibiting that he is not interested. And the delivery that dismissed Ryan Scott right there into the road. He came slightly a step ahead and uprooting the stump. We saw what happened with Hamad Tanveer. The poor stump uprooted. Was a bit of mess there. 29 runs on the scoreboard. Need 8.14 and over. 137 more to win. Noman Iftikhar and New England Eagles will have to be a bit more quicker with their field adjustments. Played nicely. Back-to-back boundaries from Bhaskar Yadram, the very first that he played, guiding down to the third. And you wouldn't tell that the power he's got, that he might be relying on the timing, that he might be able to get on the ball, because the second boundary that he was able to get through the extra covers, the square region that you would call, is more about timing, playing the ball on the up more than anything. Will remain back in the crease, Aditya Ganesh. I think it's more about the field adjustment. You would think as a spectator and a viewer, it's been only 3.3 overs bowled by the New England Eagles, and going at a very slow over rate to bowl. We got to keep it in mind that as T20 is considered to be a fast format game, at times these things to get into account where the field adjustments and that decision that the captain has to do, who is he going to bowl the next over in 2023 2024, has that had the rule had been brought in place that anyone taking extra time will be penalized, and is more important than the play that the essence of time is considered, especially for the viewers, the spectators, and anyone coming live to the ground, especially for the players as well. When they're playing late matches, these sort of conditions, these sort of condition, having slow over rate does at times cause the teams, either with the game or with the players being a bit sluggish too, a bit too wide there. We'll have to re-bowl. 5 runs so far from Noman Iftikhar's over. Much better than the first one, where he gave 16 runs. Let's it alone into the keeper's pouch. That'll be the end of fourth over. 33 for 3. 4 overs gone. For the Philadelphians, they need 133 in 16 overs. And they'll give rest to Hamad Tanveer. Will be the first change in bowling. It's Earl Henningham. Triple seven for Earl Henningham. A jackpot jersey number. Is that going to be the day for him? Where he gets rid of Bhaskar Yadram, sends him early back, gets an early victory for the New England Eagles. Pulled away. But there's a fielder there. Two dots here for Earl Henningham. Should be a matchup, good matchup between Bhaskar Yadram and Earl Henningham. When he bowls, the ball skids on a bit more quicker than what Bhaskar Yadram was playing to Hamad Tanveer and Noman Iftikhar. Plays it on the rise. Easy pickings. Just have to clear the fielder who are inside the circle, reminding you that this is the power play and the fielding restrictions are still on. They've got only two fielders. Just look at him on his toes. Just taking a look at the bounce and a good punch. It's looked good and he's got boundaries of the middle of the bat that should be making him feel good. Four runs coming off five balls. A bit different, Bhaskar Yadram, that plays a bit moderately at the beginning, and then when he gets a chance, tries to take on, and most of his dismissals have come being caught out. Only one time being bowled and a run out of all three times this season. He's been caught out. End of fifth over. Four runs coming off Earl's over. 37 for three. Apurva Maheshram. First time introducing spin in this innings. Stays back in the crease, presenting his full bat. Aditya Ganesh. This is the time as they bought on the spinner before the power play. Bit of hint to the Philadelphians to see if they take on the charge on the spinner, just having two fielders inside the circle. Short ball, bowled quicker, looking to come back. And a good call from Bhaskar Yadram to send Aditya Ganesh would have resulted in a run out. Comes down the wicket. And there's a fielder station for the exact shot. Only a run. As we get into the later phases of the game, the run rate shall be skipping where it needed 8 and over. It's jumped up to 9. The New England Eagles, they should try to contain the Philadelphians and try to stop them from taking any boundaries. Trying to make a bit more hard work for the batters. And a good ball from Apurva Maheshram to end the over. Only a run coming off 6 overs. 38 runs after 6. 3 wickets down. 128 needed in 14 overs. Adil Noshirwan. He joins in with the other bowlers. Bit of running there from the umpires of Alim Dar in one of these series, Australia and New Zealand, where it was hit. The physio had to come in. Same work from the cameraman, reminding me about Alim Dar running, where it was hit, and then the physio coming out to spray, getting a capture of Alim Dar that he was doing fine. Not an easy job, being an umpire. You're always under the heat. Gotta manage at times and the timing as well, keeping the pace of the game and also at times under the fire, where the bowlers think that it is out and the batters always thinking that it was missing leg or not hitting the wickets. Tough job, and the panel of umpires at minor league cricket doing exceptionally well. 123 needed. There's something, says the keeper. There's no interest from the bowler. He just tried giving an appeal along with the wicket keeper. Seven overs done. 43 for 3. There has to be a release shot coming soon by Aditya Ganesh or Bhaskar Yadram, because the boundaries now certainly have dried up for the Philadelphians, and that run rate has started to climb. They'll be looking for a boundary, because another over, if it goes without a boundary, they'll start feeling the pressure. Apurva Maheshram bowling smoothly. Look at the turn, getting nice bite off the wicket. Played across. Maybe the Philadelphians would be thinking that we would want to build this innings as deep and take the game as deep as it can get. But you got to remember that it's going to be a bit more hectic and pressure added on to the other batters who are coming. Got to make sure that you got to check that run rate. He's bowling well, Apurva Maheshram. 5 runs coming. A ball remaining. Because there's always a calculative approach of the batting team, that they think of how much is achievable and how many batters do I have behind me that who can score. There's the wild swing from Bhaskar Yadram as we talk about a release shot. It ends with a dot. 8 overs done, 48 for 3. 118 required in 12 overs. keeping the pressure tight on the Philadelphians. And talking about the pressure situation in a T20 game, if I could remember one of the games played between India and Sri Lanka, the 2012 final, was Malinga, Nuwan Kulasekara, the spinners, Ajanta Mendes, and you could see 24 balls from Malinga and Nuwan Kulasekara, 2 overs each pulled right on the money. Talking about pressure, right execution there in 2012 by Sri Lanka, who were crowned as the T20 champions. It was a struggle by the Indian batters, but they were not able to pick out and respond to the pressure created by the Sri Lankans. And that's why when you know the amount of runs you score, how you'll be chasing plays a key role. Nine overs done, 52 for 3. Apurva Maheshram gets hoiked and gets clobbered by Bhaskar Yadram for one of the biggest sixes of the day. Six coming on the very first ball. And then that's why I tell to keep the pressure in check. You'll have to know how many runs you are to score, and especially with the given condition and the situation the Philadelphians are in right now. Turned away. Should be looking to come back for 2 runs, and they're only happy with a single. Because at Philadelphians right now, they would be looking to target a specific bowler. They might want to squeeze the runs off him, and they'll have to find it soon before it's too late. because the run rate is hopped up to over 10 and over. That concludes the 10th over. 62 for 3, 64 for 3. And we'll have a drinks break and we'll join you shortly with the second phase of the game where 10 overs are pending with 102 runs to scored by the Philadelphians to win and for the New England Eagles to defend. Join you after the drinks break. Welcome back. We resume the innings after drinks break. 11th over, bowled by the bowler of New England Eagles, Adil Nosherwan. As we continue talking about a pressure situation, that reminded and having the conversation about the 2014 World Cup game between India Sri Lanka, managing to score only 130 with keeping wickets in hand Only 4 wickets down for India at that point. And Sri Lanka finishing off the game in the 18th over. Irrespective of you have wickets, Bhaskar Yadram is trying to turn the pressure away from the Philadelphians. He's putting on a fight here. Despite the slow start, gradually improving. Started with boundary, picked up odd boundaries every time. Now he's racing on 33 with 24 balls faced. Aditya Ganesh facing 27 balls with 18 runs. He'll have to support. He's taking responsibility on him, Bhaskar Yadram. Holding on to the wickets is important, but knowing how to use them is something not all the teams and the captains can do it at the right time, right moment, because you got to take baby steps. The Philadelphians not let the run rate go over 10. They've got 7 more wickets. 1 wicket falls this partnership. They'll have to find some way or the other to find a crack between this partnership, get rid of at least Bhaskar Yadram for sure, because he's played 34, came after Aditya Ganesh. He's been the one who's moderating this innings, so it's his wicket that is more important. 11 overs done, 75 for 3. A wicket for Apurva Maheshram. Gets off Aditya Ganesh, who was struggling. Have a look on the replay here. Tried to take on with the sweep. Instead, the ball pegs on to the off stump, getting rid of Aditya Ganesh. Apurva Maheshram gets a wicket, breaks the partnership. Finally, a wicket coming for the New England Eagles. Hakim Dewar. who had an excellent day in the field today. He's making the ball turn, talk, and the ball is definitely listening to Apurva Maheshram. This is his final over. One more wicket before he finishes off his spell today is what he would be looking for. Just to find through some way the gap between bat and pad, or at least to strike onto his pad, having a new batter. But more of flight from Apurva Maheshram. There's something. Apurva Maheshram and the wicketkeeper. The batter's unmoved, and the keeper directly says that there's glove. It brushed off his glove. Bhaskar Yadram goes to have a conversation, to have a word with him. Final one ball from Maheshram. Would this be a maiden? With all of this happening on the field while the teams fight hard, this is one thing as a sportsman. The spirit is held above everything. You see, that might be a small and an ordinary cause where Apurva Maheshram's tying the lace of Bhaskar Yadram. But despite everything, you got to make sure this is gentleman's game. This time, Apurva Maheshram goes with the appeal, and still the umpire not convinced. And a maiden over with a wicket. Has finished his bowling day today with 4 overs, 18 runs, and a wicket. Now, run rate slipping away, things getting out of hands for the Philadelphians. Gets more turn. We'll have to start again. Adil Sherwan. The run rate just keeps building, and the credit, the bowling effort of the spinners and the fast bowlers. The very first 2 overs bowled by Hamad Tanveer, taking 3 wickets in his 2 overs. And it's gone. It's a big wicket. They've caught Bhaskar Yadram. They know how big this is at this juncture. They've been trying hard to get the wicket of this man, Bhaskar Yadram. Finally, out of frustration, he launches one. There were cries from the wicketkeeper to catch it, and the fist pumps. You can see the joy on the faces of New England Eagles. They are ecstatic. Bhaskar Yadram goes for 35. He's made 35 runs in 27 balls. They are in all sorts of trouble here, the Philadelphians. Connor Dry joins in Akeem Diwar. That's the wicket the New England Eagles team would have been looking for, despite Bhaskar Yadram trying to get the boundaries. Finally, a shot that he's played rashly, and his stats that were telling. Out of 5 matches, 3 times he's got caught. Looking to score, likes taking the aerial route. 88 runs needed, 87 runs needed with that single taken. Thirteen overs done, 81 for 5. With the new bowler who'll be rolling his arm. should be Pratik Singh. And gotta tell that the New England Eagle batters, they've put on a total 165 for the Philadelphians, and it's slightly, you wouldn't say it to be par at this wicket because the Philadelphians are very much capable. They are above the points table. Reverse sweep. Not exactly par, but an average total, something above average. They would have wanted to achieve. Played away. Only a run. It's started to get worse for the Philadelphians. No boundaries coming in. As we all know, seeing the innings, it was the 11th over, and then now it is Cornet Dry who ends the drought of boundaries, gets out, and sends one to collect half a dozen right in front of the side screen. 4 overs without boundaries and 14 done, 89 for 5. They need 77 in 6 overs. Scut that. The fielder's going to chase. Just trying to find the difference where the charts are for you guys to give a better perspective of how the wickets fell for the Philadelphians. It's more about the Philadelphians getting choked with runs. It's not the factor of wickets. And that's skied up. That's launched. Fielder underneath and will go down as a drop catch. He reached there. Could not complete it. Noman Iftikhar drops a chance. Saves runs and boundary. Corner dry, trying everything he can. Just giving his 100% to bring that run rate down, to pull it down. Has he got that one? Has he got that one? Yes, he has. He's got it, and he's launched that into the sky. 6 runs from Akeem Diwar. He gets hold of that one and just sends into the orbit behind his pavilion. That should wake up the Philadelphians from the slumber. Second one, 2-2. Akeem Diwar trying to move the flow of tide, the dam that's broken. Akeem Diwar trying to reconstruct that one. This is a big over. They got 2 6s back to back. 107 after 15 overs, required 59 in 5 overs. Connects it. And he connects well. Akeem Diwar dealing in 6s. He's known no other way but to hit 6s. Look at that. It's more like a jab that he plays. Didn't get the full flow of bats. There's no backlift, but the power, that pure force of him. It's going to be a game that's going to be well set if Akeem Diwar tries to pull the run rate back. Prateek Singh, when everyone would have thought this would go nowhere, the sky, cries of catches. Everyone with their fingers crossed would be thinking he should catch it, and he does catch it. There is the wicket of Akeem Diwar, who put on a little show before he perishes. Has shown a bit of fight. 3 6s. Tried taking on. They had to go for it. Connected, but no distance. It went right up in the sky. 52 runs required. Put in a decent show, Akeem Diwar. Played 14 balls, scored 24 runs. the debutant today. One of them, Kazmi for the Philadelphians. Sabit Kazmi. Was a full toss, bowled by Prateek Singh. Trying to match the worm of the New England Eagles. Say the difference were those 4 overs batted by Rizwan Mazhar. It was in a complete different dimension. Sabit Kazmi has a debut with 3 other players today for Philadelphians. One more to add was their spinner. Atharv Kaushal. "16 overs done, 118 for 6. 12 runs needed, an over. 24 balls remain. For anyone who are missing action cricket around the world, Sidra Amin scoring her 6th one-day 100 from Pakistan, and then Tasmin Brits completed her hat trick of hundreds with a personal best against Pakistan, scoring 171 for being not out. First one coming against West Indies, 101. The third ODI that was played at Cave Hill. It's played in the gap. Fielder. Throw at the other end, throw at the wrong end. Must have been at the wicketkeeper's side. And then the second one came in the very first ODI against Pakistan. 101 not out. And her career best 171 today in Lahore again in the second one day international played by Tasmin Brits. It was a very close game between the Pakistan and South African women's side. South Africa winning by 25 runs with Duckworth Lewis method. Ghana, the stumps rattled for Sabit Kazmi, and it is Hamad Tanveer gets the 4th wicket in the day. The zingers just light up, getting Hamad Tanveer pumped and joyful. And the trouble continues for the Philadelphians. Atharv Kaushal alongside Conrad Dry. Doman Iftikhar bowling the 18th over, starts with a wide. The difference, the impact today. Razwan Mazhar, his innings. Conrad Dry has launched that one in the air and will be a catch. And Doman Iftikhar gets rid of Conrad Dry, who was struggling to find the rhythm. That's the 8th wicket going down right in the block hole. Does not generate enough power on the shot. Gets a wicket. 2 wickets away. New England Eagles bowling out the Philadelphians. Sazan Haq, 44 needed. That skips everyone. The batter, the wicket keeper. For buys, just helping a bit with the total, bringing that required down. But still, the run rate for the team to win is 15 and over. Might be out of questions for Philadelphians who are batting. A bit of push there from Noman Iftikhar. It did feel like the batter and the bowler did collide. 15 balls remaining in the second innings. Play and a miss from Kaushal. Been a bit lengthy match than usual games. The game between Philadelphians and New England Eagles, as we didn't mention about the time essence. With the bowling team, irrespective of Philadelphians and New England Eagles, trying to set the field up quickly. Does look like will be an over. With a to go. We'll just see if there's any change there. Eighteen overs done, 128 for 8. Hamad Tanvir. Could have been his fifer. Could have been his fifer. Both are appealing, the keeper and the bowler. Just walking across. He's trying to take a ramp shot. It's done well, Hamad Tanvir. With 4 wickets, bowling his final over. 15 runs only conceded today. right in the block hole by Hamad Tanveer. If innings out of questions of Philadelphians, they would be thinking, how close can we get to the total? So we do not get hampered by the negative run rate. Again, nicely bowled in the stumps. Cut and found the fielder. Stealing with ones, a final ball. And that's the final ball of the day from Hamad Tanveer, who was very close to get his fifer, but has bowled extremely well. And you see him lament as about he thinking that one wicket they were appealing the wicketkeeper and Hamad Tanveer when the batter tried to play the ramp, thinking that might have caught something, at least the slightest of the edge. He's been really good. Started the attack with taking a wicket. Philadelphians not standing a chance against him. Final six balls coming up from Noman Iftikhar on a misfield. This is what you wouldn't want when your team is winning. They wouldn't mind, but this will still go as a misfield. Has been a tough day today. From the start of the game for the Philadelphians, they could not find the ground. And that's the wicket for Noman Iftikhar. He gets rid of Kaushal. Just bowled onto the pads. Gets a strike on the leg stump. And the ball hitting the stumps and getting back into the wicket, onto the pads, and then getting back into the wickets. Close, very close to the stump. Almost Philadelphians being bowled out. Two more balls to go for this innings and the game to have a decisive winner. The result on your screen clear, but formally for the New England Eagles to be called as the winner of this game, a ball that keeps them away. 27 needed. Last ball and a wicket remaining, and that'll be a dot. And this will be the game for New England Eagles, who won this by 27 runs, 26 runs. Has been a remarkable display of batting from the batter of New England Eagles, who scored 56 runs in 21 balls. The wicketkeeper, Rizwan Mazhar. And whereas for the bowling from New England Eagles, Hamad Tanveer has bowled outstandingly for the bowlers and for the New Englands to clinch this victory. Overall, they've dominated, and the Philadelphians could not find the ground for their feet here. They've been out of fashion, a little bit shown by Bhaskar Yadram, but then later he perishes. Akeem Diwar came and played few strokes, back to back sixes hit, but then later on, still not sufficient. New England Eagles winning by 26 runs. Thank you for joining us, and this will be where we'll see you again tomorrow. And this is where I say you goodbye.